All I'm saying is, you want to get famous? Careful, you don't get what you wish for.
Picked up the Washington Post, and the headline read, "Trump takes power." I don't think so.
Your biggest fear is Donald Trump clinging to power. You used the George Washington example. He's not King George. He's not Julius Caesar. Go deep, go dark here for a second. He clings to power. How dark could it possibly get? What's your biggest fear?
There's a plan. It's on the table by elements at the Claremont Institute that seek to really dissolve the functioning of the government, the deep state, as they call it, within 6 months. There is no deep state.
I am your voice.
I appeared on the PBD podcast. It's one of the largest in the country, with a subscribership of over 1 million people. Most of those people don't see the world the way that I do.
No shit.
Nevertheless, into the lion's den I went, so to speak.
With Donald Trump, my entire life, Trump has been there. I feel like I know who he is.
Bullshit.
If you grew up in New Jersey, you followed Donald Trump's career, Trump is a con man and a grifter.
Donald transformed the dying Commodore Hotel into the Grand Hyatt. His most famous accomplishment in real estate is the 68-story Trump Tower on Fifth Avenue. He also has several properties in his real estate portfolio, including Trump World Tower, Trump Palace, and Trump International Hotel.
I reject completely the notion that he's a successful businessman.
Over the course of his career, Trump has held property deeds all over the continental United States and has lent his name to many more buildings around the world. He divides his time between his 8 principal residences, which are primarily located along the eastern seaboard of the United States.
The notion that he's a successful businessman, he's a fraud.
Another key residence for the former US president is Trump National Golf Club in Bedminster Township, New Jersey. Trump bought the former horse farm for nearly $35 million in 2002 and transformed the 535-acre property into a members-only 36-hole golf course.
He's a fraud. He was a TV character.
One of Trump's less heralded properties is his Seven Springs estate in Bedford, New York. He bought the Georgian-style mansion set on 200 acres of land in 1995 for $7.5 million. The 39,000-square-foot residence has 60 rooms, including 13 bedrooms and 12 bathrooms. It also contains a 2-story playroom, a marble indoor swimming pool, and a bowling alley.
He was a TV character, a cultural figure who was able to, in a alignment of events, capture very narrowly the presidency running against another flawed character.
Presidential race is effectively over. And Hillary Rodham Clinton will be the 45th president of the United States.
What's the over-under on the Electoral College victory for Hillary Clinton?
I think she's trending over 400.
Trending over 400?
Yes.
So
very bad.
So poll numbers are not good on the internal numbers. The panic is beginning.
Okay.
When you look at where the race is right now, Hillary Clinton's going to be elected the 45th president of the United States. I think they need to spend some serious time preparing a concession speech.
I hate what Donald Trump stands for. I believe he is a threat to my country and to the American Constitution.
How?
He incited an insurrection that ended the peaceful transition of power.
Question, was there collusion? Of course there was. Does it meet the legal definition of felony conspiracy against the United States? And that's what we're going to find out over the course of the investigation.
He incited an insurrection that ended the peaceful transition of power.
No thinking person could seriously believe that the president's January 6th speech on the ellipse was in any way an incitement to violence or insurrection.
He called for violence, and violence broke out.
I know that everyone here will soon be marching over to the Capitol building to peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard.
Donald Trump is a child of immense privilege who was handed a company that he bankrupted many times.
I have never gone bankrupt, by the way. I have never.
Who was handed a company that he bankrupted many times.
You were in your darkest days, when it looked like you were going to lose everything and coming out of bankruptcy, that you never forgot the people.
I never went bankrupt.
Well, on the brink.
Neil, I never.
Right.
Neil, I never went bankrupt.
Okay, but you were on the brink. You were on the brink.
I don't understand.
All right, you were on the brink.
Oh,
well,
I
you're
was
back.
close,
You're
but
back.
I never went bankrupt.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
But
I never went bankrupt.
Trump's bankruptcies are not like the type of bankruptcies that you or I would file. These are corporate bankruptcies. These are not individual bankruptcies. This was a corporation, or I assume it's a corporation or LLC or some corporate entity that Mr. Trump had created, and that entity filed bankruptcy. But more importantly, Trump was able to avoid any personal liability when he formed those corporations.
Including bankruptcies involving the operation of a casino, which is extremely tough to do, especially in the state of New Jersey.
I've been out of Atlantic City for many years. I think most people know that.
It's hard to miss Donald Trump's mark on Atlantic City. But now the real estate mogul wants to take the Trump out of the 2 casinos bearing his name. In a lawsuit filed Tuesday, the billionaire accused Trump Entertainment Resorts of violating its licensing agreement by allowing the Trump Taj Mahal and the Trump Plaza to fall into an utter state of disrepair. Court papers state the plaza in particular failed to meet industry standards, ranging from hotel services to overall cleanliness.
Like other franchise brand companies, no different than McDonald's that has license agreements with their franchisees, certain standards have to be maintained. And he owns the Trump name and he licenses it to this ownership entity.
Trump insists he hasn't been a part of Atlantic City for years and has nothing to do with the casinos.
Bankruptcies involving the operation of a casino, which is extremely tough to do, especially in the state of New Jersey. Nevertheless, Donald Trump managed to do it.
So far this year, 4 Atlantic City casinos have either closed or are threatening to close. And Nora, if the Trump Plaza doesn't find a buyer by the end of this month, they may have to shut their doors.
Do you regret at all that your name's on the building?
I think everyone knows that I'm gone. Atlantic City was a place that I really loved. I did it for a long time in Atlantic City, but a lot of people say when I left, that's when it went bad.
You know, at the end of the day, say what you will about me, but I believe what I believe. And you're not going to find contradictions, right, in the things I've said, right, over the last 10, 12 years on any of this stuff.
Now, you used a pretty harsh phrase the other day to describe the Republican conversation in the presidential race. You said it is a mosaic of nonsense. Who were you talking about? That's pretty harsh criticism.
Well, I was talking in that context about Donald Trump when we went through that a couple of weeks ago.
You're dismissive quite openly of Trump, and I gather Palin, Gingrich. You put them in a category almost as a sideshow, almost as a comedy act.
None of them are going to be president of the United States. None of them is going to be the Republican nominee.
I was asked a terrible question. A terrible question because the choice is a terrible one. But there was a choice presented, and I gave an answer.
The 1-6 attack for the future of the country is a profoundly more dangerous event than the 9/11 attacks.
How could you say that? Do you still hold the position as J6 was worse than 9/11?
I do.
How is that possible?
Because the January 6th attack was an attack incited by a president of the United States of America. The 9/11 attack was never an existential threat to the United States.
What?
Now, I should say there were 4 people in the room, and there was only one MAGA fanatic. Let me also say, when this was over, that guy ran out of the room faster than Josh Hawley down a Senate hallway.
To prove that Josh Hawley was a coward, the committee released video of him loping out of the building on the afternoon of January 6th with a police escort. The tape became a staple on social media. Democrats laughed with derision.
That guy ran out of the room faster than Josh Hawley down a Senate hallway.
The surveillance footage we reviewed shows that famous clip was a sham, edited deceptively by the January 6th committee. The clip was propaganda, not evidence. The actual videotape shows that Hawley was one of many lawmakers being ushered out of the building by Capitol Hill police officers. And in fact, Hawley was at the back of the pack. The coward tape was a lie, one of many from the January 6th committee.
That guy ran out of the room
faster than Josh Hawley down a Senate hallway.
Here in this new video, you see Leader Schumer walking up a ramp. Going up the ramp with his detail, he'll soon go out of view. Immediately shut the door and use. Run.
Here's the deal. January 6th was the greatest crime in American history.
We have enough information to sit and wonder, might this be the greatest crime in American history? The subversion of an American election by a foreign power, colluding with, in conspiracy with, the president's campaign.
The question was, what was the more dangerous attack for America?
That's why the attack on January 6th was worse than the attack on September 11th.
Do you really believe what you're saying right now?
100%.
2,977 people died during 9/11.
Absolutely.
And one person died in J6. Some say 5, but it's one person that died.
Ashley Babbitt, she was shot.
That's not how I measure. That's not how I measure the severity of those attacks.
And what do you say with a Ray Epps that's in there saying, "Get in there, get into his insiders," encouraging people to go in, and he comes afterwards and is being talked about, and he is let go free.
We need to go into the Capitol. Into the Capitol.
So he was the one that is also doing it, but he gets a small little misdemeanor. Other guys are still doing. You realize like the average person watches. So here's what the average person does. Forget about me and you. It makes me think about they're targeting this guy. They hate this guy. They envy this guy. They're upset at this guy. Maybe they hate the fact that he's loved in ways that they'll never be loved. Maybe they hate the fact that he gets the kind of from his followers, because I don't know if anybody on the left, aside from Obama, I think Obama's followers love him. There's a level of envy for how much support this guy gets.
For years, you had a president who apologized for America.
But I love this guy right here. Let me give this guy a hug right here.
Your side, you're sitting there and you're okay with Hillary saying there's going to be fraud in 2024 election.
Right-wing extremists already have a plan to literally steal the next presidential election. And they're not making a secret of it.
The January 6th attack was an attack on the foundation of the American way of life. And we had that argument. And this is what it was.
But the attack on January 6th was more severe also than the attack on Pearl Harbor.
We'll call it attack, but from the videos that we saw, Steve, from Twitter and just undercover cameras, it didn't look like an attack. If somebody
What are you talking about?
I'm just talking about all the videos that we've seen, the undercover.
What do you mean all the videos?
All the videos on Twitter.
Well, all the videos on Twitter?
Yeah, hold on.
Are you guys going to really sit here and fucking tell me that the attack on January 6th didn't happen, that the violence, the bludgeoning of the police officers didn't happen
hold on.
because of some bullshit on Twitter?
Hold on.
Here we go. Get the fuck out of here.
Steve, I'll give you
Come on.
Steve, I'll give you my opinion, and then you could talk. First of all,
It's not an opinion.
Hold on.
It's not an opinion. It's a bullshit conspiracy.
All right, come on. See the shaman getting guided around? I'll give you my opinion, and then you could talk. First of all,
It's not an opinion.
Hold on.
It's not an opinion. It's a bullshit conspiracy.
All right, time out. I'm not only a fucking New Yorker, I'm a veteran. For you, time out.
Yeah.
My sister's a veteran. My brother's a veteran. He's a veteran. For you to listen to me. For you to say that January 6th compared to 9/11 that's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. Hold on. Let me finish. Number one, it wasn't an attack. It looked like a guided tour. Okay? That's what it...
You're a fucking nut.
Are you? Yeah, you fucking ain't right. I am. It was a guided fucking tour.
A guided tour.
You think
a guy beating the cops?
What?
With all the violence?
Who died? Ashley Babbitt, a veteran, they fucking shot. The Capitol Police shot her ass. Where the fuck is that guy getting in trouble? You're just upset because Donald Trump said, you know what? They probably cheated. You don't think he has a leg to stand on that they fucking did it in 2016? Hillary, Russia, FBI, colluded. Are you how are we fucking crazy, Steve? How are we crazy?
I mean, this is going to be on video, so I mean, you're going to speak for yourself.
No, I'm going to speak for myself. Yeah. 19 terrorists took 4 commercial flights, crashed them in the World Trade, crashed them in the Pentagon, did all that. Yeah. Okay, and you're saying that, and we've lost, by the way, for how many decades of wars, we've lost over 1 million people from the Iraq War, which is all bullshit, all a lie. 1 million people.
We lost 1 million Americans in the Iraq War?
No, we lost. We killed people because we said there was weapons of mass destruction. We lied. Bush lied. Oh yeah, there's weapons of mass destruction there. There was no weapons of mass destruction, but we were like, oh, we changed the name since we're here, enduring freedom, which is bullshit. Okay, so as a veteran, as an American, as a New Yorker, for you to say that one day compared to that is absolutely absurd. But the hate for one guy because he loves this country so much
he
is
loves
absolute
the country.
bullshit. He doesn't.
God, you're a fool.
How am I a fool? How am I a fool? You have Trump derangement syndrome. You just hate him. You just hate the guy.
You are taken in by a con man.
No, I'm not. I guess
he
what?
loves
I'm
the
not
country.
A Republican,
Trump
I'm not
loves the country.
I love this country, and I hate what's happening to this country.
Damn right he does. He's been saying it since the 80s, 90s on Letterman and all these shows.
He's a guy on September 11th who went down, said he was down there. He wasn't.
Now, just a few moments ago, Donald Trump passed through here, so we had a minute to talk with him. Let's roll that tape. You can see what he had to say.
Well, I've never seen anything like it. I've seen 2 huge 110-story buildings that are reduced to rubble, thousands and thousands of lives. I just got to see something that I've never seen before.
He's a guy who called in on a radio. He said, now I got the tallest building in lower Manhattan.
Donald, you have one of the landmark buildings down in the financial district, 40 Wall Street. Did you have any damage, or did you know what's happened down there?
40 Wall Street actually was the second tallest building in downtown Manhattan, and it was actually, before the World Trade Center, was the tallest. And then when they built the World Trade Center, it became known as the second tallest, and now it's the tallest. And I just spoke to my people, and they said it's the most unbelievable sight. It's probably 7 or 8 blocks away from the World Trade Center, and yet Wall Street is littered with 2 feet of stone and brick and mortar and steel, and there are thousands of people walking over the debris.
He's a guy who lied about Muslims cheering it in New Jersey from Jersey City.
Regarding celebrations in New Jersey, Bernie Kerik, who was the New York City police commissioner during the attacks and was born in New Jersey, confirmed there were reports of celebrations in several New Jersey towns.
He's a guy who lied about Muslims cheering it in New Jersey from Jersey City.
There were celebrations in Brooklyn, around Atlantic Avenue, in Queens, Patterson, New Jersey, I think Jersey City as well.
Mike, go ahead. You're on the air.
It's crazy that this can happen
Howard,
with nobody knowing about it.
I'm a firefighter in New Jersey, and I just heard you say about the Palestinians celebrating over there from this bombing.
Awful.
They're doing it right in Patterson.
What are you talking about?
Patterson.
What's going on?
They're, after yesterday's bombing, they were out in the streets. The police are out there having problems with riots because they're out there celebrating the bombing of the Trade Center. So it's right here in our own country.
Angry Black, go ahead.
Yo, the Arabs are over here in Patterson on Crooks Ave celebrating after what happened yesterday. Clifton police,
Shame on
Patterson police are on high alert because they were out there last night celebrating. I'm over in Hackensack, and they're doing that.
Shame on them.
He's a guy who lied about Muslims cheering it in New Jersey from Jersey City.
Oh, look at this. I just saw a story that says 3 men who were seen celebrating the Twin Towers explosions. They have now, they're spot, you know, they could be deported.
Good.
Yeah. That's what I'm looking for. That kind of.
Where were they partying?
It was here.
Yeah, where?
They were in New Jersey.
Liberty State Park.
Good.
Arrested in New Jersey following a tip from witnesses who said they saw them jumping up and down and cheering at Liberty State Park
in public
after the attack.
About Muslims cheering it in New Jersey from Jersey City. He is a con man. He is a liar. And that you have fallen for this bullshit.
I'm not falling for anything, Steve.
Please.
It was an incredible moment when this guy points to the television screen in the room, and they're playing as his evidence to support his position that January 6th didn't happen, is Tucker Carlson's videos from Fox News.
Virtually every moment of his time inside the Capitol was caught on tape. The tapes show that Capitol Police never stopped Jacob Chansley. They helped him. They acted as his tour guides. Here's video of Chansley in the Senate chamber. Capitol Police officers take him to multiple entrances and even try to open locked doors for him. We counted at least 9 officers who were within touching distance of unarmed Jacob Chansley. Not one of them even tried to slow him down. Contrast the reality of what Jacob Chansley did in the Capitol building on January 6th with the depiction of Jacob Chansley that you've seen in the media for more than 2 years. He's a terrorist, they said. He should be killed.
Shoot him. Shoot him. Like, you burst into the United States, if he was dressed like bin Laden, would you have shot him?
Shoot him. Shoot him. It makes you wonder, who are the violent extremists here?
This is the impact of the propaganda. This is the information that is going out to the American people. And I'm quite clear with this liar, this professional delusionist, about the damage that he's doing to the country. His unhinged response speaks for itself. But it is the snarling, dangerous face of the MAGA movement. There it is. It didn't take much to unmask it, to peel it back, to incite him, so to speak, with the truth, which he doesn't want to hear. Everybody is entitled to their opinion in America, but they're not entitled to assert conspiracies as fact unchallenged.
You sound like a bitch, nigga.